I'm back. Hi everyone. Sorry it took a little bit for me to get back on. I know I did my first video, I think the last day of February, and I have not been back on. Part of the reason is I had gotten pretty sick, and then the other part is that we just got really busy with family and stuff. Um, so but I am back, and I just kind of wanted to share what was going on. The Lord has I feel like when I was talking to him about, I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, about what this, YouTube channel is supposed to look like, what it's supposed to be, I really felt like he had just said it's going to be a place where I want you to get on and just talk about me and share my love and share who I am and who I've been to you and who I've been to others around you. And so this will be a place where it'll just be, I don't know, I kind of heard like Testimonial Tuesday or maybe like Inspirational Tuesday, just where we can share some hope and love with everyone. And so there'll be times that I'll be on here speaking, and then there'll be other times where I will invite a friend to come on and share part of their life with you. And yeah, so I'm excited to see what God has in store. But okay, so like I told you, I don't want to do an agenda on this. I just kind of want to be myself and be real. And so I'm trying to do this without really having much planned, but seeing what the Lord says in the midst of our conversations here, which is really just me talking to you guys because there's no conversation happening, I think, right now. Eventually, I will like to do lives and everything and get the lives down. But I got a new computer, so I'm trying out their camera right now just to see how it works for YouTube. And so that's why I didn't do a live this week. But usually I think from now on they will be live, because what happens is when they're not live, I delete a ton. And then I can't remember what I did share and didn't share, and so so you're gonna get me, just me. And I'm a little messy, and that's okay. So yeah, anyway, yeah, the computer. Okay, so for those of you that know, the Lord has asked me for a couple years now to write a book about my story, and I have prolonged it, and I've kind of held back, and I've had every excuse in the book of reasons of why not to do it. Even like with this YouTube thing, like I had said last video, just who am I? What are people going to care? Why do they care about my story? What does it matter? I've used that. I've used the excuse of, well, because of my RA, my hands get too tired. They just are sore. I can't do it. In school, I had a hard time with English, and I still do with spelling and everything. How can I write a book? It doesn't make any sense. And so God's been really on it, though, about telling his story, like, his perspective of our story together. And so I've had all these like thoughts of not doing it. And I think it was about 2 months ago, I had I was scrolling through Facebook, and as I was scrolling, I saw an ad, and I read the ad as, God is asking you, or how did I read it? Hold on, I want to say it right. I'm asking you to write a book, and then God. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so I heard him scroll past it, and then I felt like he said, go back. So I went back, and when I went back, it said, is God asking you to write a book? Question mark. Well, after I saw that, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you speaking. So, what do you want to do? And it was a workshop. It was like a 2-week workshop to take. And so I decided to take the workshop. And in the workshop, the first week, they talked about, like, it was a really good workshop, but they did like a VIP section. And I was like, well, I don't have the money for a VIP section, God, so I can't afford to do all the stuff that you're asking, and, my finances, where I'm at. And then somebody scholarship me, and so I ended up being able to do the workshop, the VIP part. And so they had these breakout rooms, and we would go in and talk and be able to speak with other people who are writing. And it was funny because in the process, all these people, they've already written their book, they've already written parts of their books. I mean, I've written parts of my book, but I still have this feeling of like it's not good enough. I still had it, at least. And so I was like, I just don't know, Lord. Like, these people are way further than I am. They already know their titles. They already know their genre, who they're writing to, how they're writing it. I don't have, like, mine's just like writing my story out, and that's all I have. And you know, and there's a fear in writing my story out because I'm afraid of how people are gonna read it, and that people will be offended, or if they remember the story different than I did. I'm really big about I don't want to lie, and so I want it to be as truthful as it can be. So then I'm like, well, God, what if I have the memory wrong, because, you know, I've had a stroke, and what if I just didn't get it right? And I feel like the Lord always says, this is my story, Stephanie. It's our story, and it's okay. And so anyway, in the group that I was in, the discussion stuff, they had talked about how, you know, fear is a big thing on a reason why we decide not to do something that God's asked us to do. And so I realized I was being gripped by fear, and just letting people into that place. But also, it wasn't just fear, it was also me not seeing value in me. And so we decided, so I was like, okay, well, they said, like, there's a couple of things you can do, like, in practicing, is, like, instead of trying to focus on getting all the punctuation right and getting everything perfectly written, just 15 minutes a day, get on your computer and type, and just start telling your story. However it works out, just start writing something, and then it'll start coming. And I was like, okay, well, I can do that. So I started writing it, but I did it in paper because, you know, I didn't have a computer. And then, but then my hands were hurting. So then I was like, well, I'll try on my iPad. I tried my iPad because I have a little keyboard to it. But even then, it wasn't working. And so then I was like, I don't know what else to do, God. I'm trying. And then I would use every distraction in the book to say I can't do it. You know, I'm busy. I have things to do. And so I was like, well, if I get a computer, I will write the book. Don't ever tempt God, guys. Don't ask him. I'm not tempting God, but don't ever, like, challenge him. Because I did. I challenged him, and I said, well, if I get a computer, then I will write the book. Well, earlier this month, I had a friend who texted me, and she said, hey, the Lord had told me to go and get a new computer, and he said he wanted to upgrade mine, but he said that to give you this computer, my computer, and it's still in really good condition and everything, and so you could have it by the end of the month. And I was like, okay, well, it works out. Okay, God, I hear you. I will do the writing of the book. And so I actually got the computer yesterday, so that's my testimony. Praise the Lord. He covers and he gets everything that you need, when you need it, how you need it. And so you, like, you know, I kept trying to figure out how I was going to write the book, and he knows how I'm going to, and he knows when I'm going to do it. And so he even arranged today that I didn't work, which is crazy because I thought I was working today, with a friend, and, like, getting out of the house, and instead I was home all day, and so I can have time to figure out the computer, and also get on here for you guys. And so it's really funny how when he wants things done, he arranges even the time that we need to do it in. And so I was telling my friend, like, how God kept telling me, like, Stephanie, we've been on your schedule and your timing, and now it's time to be on mine because I have things that need to be done. And so, yeah. So I wrote my book. I didn't write my book, guys. That's a lie. So I did start today, though, and it's funny because as soon as I opened up the tab to try to write, you know, it wasn't even a Word document because they don't have Word on the computer I have. It was some other thing, text editor, I can't remember what it was called, but so I went on there to try to type, and I was like, okay, well, I'll get on here for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I was on there for longer than 15 minutes, and I actually had a lot to say. So I was actually surprised and amazed that all it took was me opening up the book, the thing, and start typing. And my husband had said, he's like, it's not going to be a hard time. He's like, it's not going to be hard to get you started. It's going to be hard to get you off the computer now. So that was kind of cool. Um, yeah, those are just some really cool things that God has been doing. Um, he knows every need we have. And the funny part is, okay, so the thing that he got, the thing I got is I got a MacBook Pro, and I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, but I've never had a MacBook, and these things are difficult to figure out. And my brain is like, I don't know. It was just I struggled. I struggled on how to get a video to go. I struggled. Even now, I still don't know how, if this is even going to upload onto YouTube. We will see. But I struggled trying to figure it out. And I was telling my husband, I said, yeah, I said, it's funny how sometimes God's blessings, like I asked for a laptop so bad, telling him I needed one for this, and he gave it to me and he blessed me, but like it's not the kind I was thinking, because I would just think a normal Dell type or whatever, just an easy one that had like Microsoft and stuff that I knew, but instead he's putting me in this whole other place that I don't know. And yeah, it's just crazy how God moves and how he works. And so that was kind of what I wanted to share today. I hope if the story, I hope the story kind of resonates with you. I don't even know if it made sense, but I'm just being obedient. And there is something in being obedient. I keep finding out is the more that I am obedient and I'm okay with saying the yes, the more I get to see the Lord move in my life in all kinds of different ways. And so the power of our yes is very important, and partnering with God in that yes, because he knew I wasn't ready to do a lot of things, but then he allowed me in my timing to get ready, and he's been so patient and gracious with me in the timing. And it's not all perfect, and I think I was just waiting for everything to be perfect, to be put into place and to have it all together. Even today, I mean, I'm still in just like a regular t-shirt and haven't done my hair, and this is me. And I was like, well, I should probably go do my hair. I should probably put on some makeup before I get on again. And God was like, why? Just be you. Who cares? And so he's like, they're there for me, not for you, Stephanie. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, but yeah, okay. So, but you always want to be a good representation, of the Lord. So anyway, now I think I'm just rambling. Because it was really awkward to figure out when to end these and how to end them. And we're still trying to figure out all the bugs. So for those of you who do watch the videos from the beginning, I thank you. Hopefully they'll get easier to listen to and make more sense and flow better. Yeah. Oh, also, okay. So today, me and my husband, we're doing my Bible study, because I have a Bible study that I'm doing in the book of James. And we were reading out of, I can't remember. This is where my brain, I get sad because it doesn't remember everything anymore. We were reading, and it had said something that said, be angry. It's in James. Let me see if you guys don't mind waiting. I think it was in James, because it also, the Bible study also does it to different chapters. To different books. Let's see. James 1. Hold on. Let me get my notebook really quick. I'm sorry. You guys are going to see my messy room. Again, like I said, this is just me. Let's see. Ephesians 4. Sorry. They referenced Ephesians 4:26. So let me go there real quick. Ephesians I told you, I don't have it all together, and I'm still figuring it all out, and I don't have um, an agenda at the moment. I know where Ephesians is. It's just disappeared in my mind. Okay, no, there you go. Ephesians 4 and verse 26. It says, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil." So, because we're doing the book of James, and this week was all about anger. And, in James, when it says to be slow to speak, quick to listen, I think it's quick to listen, slow to speak. But anyway, in that part where it says be angry, it was funny because I know, like, we're not supposed to be super angry people or allow our emotions to control us, but seeing the be angry part, I don't know, there was something inside that was like, wait, hold on, it says be angry. It doesn't say don't be angry, it says be angry. And so, like, it was for me, the Lord telling me it's okay to give yourself permission to be angry. It's just not allowing that anger to control your actions, Stephanie. And so there's always this part where I feel like I shouldn't be angry or I can't be angry. And if I'm angry, then I'm bad, then I'm wrong. And so the fact that it said be angry for me was really big. I don't know if that's for anybody else, but that was for me. Because we're so quick to, for me at least, when anger comes up and it pops up in me, I automatically, I go to, like, be patient, be kind, don't allow your anger to come out, like, just be loving, and that's what we should do. But the fact that it said be angry, not that I'm saying go ahead and be angry and throw a ruckus and all that. That's not what I feel like the Lord said at all. I feel like he's saying it's okay if you are angry at times, like if that comes up, but come to me and allow me to show you what's going on. And in that, then I'll be able to give you the wisdom to respond the way that you should. And so it's really submitting to the Lord our anger, instead of pretending that it's not there. I'm really good at pretending that it's not there. And then it comes up later in something, because I'll be like, no, that's, and then afterwards, when God's like, I give it to him finally, then I have shame and guilt. And I live with the shame and guilt because I feel like I disobeyed the Lord. I feel like I was this terrible young girl. And when in fact, like, anger is actually something that is okay. It's not something we should act on, but it is normal to have it. And so, yeah. So that was kind of a revelation I had too. I don't know if that helped anybody, but it did help me. Because I do believe, for me at least, if I get angry, when I get angry, a lot of it is at myself. And it's because I feel misunderstood and like I can't be understood. And so then I get angry at myself for not being like everybody else so that I could be understood. And so I realized today that I do beat myself up a lot in that area. And even like, when I do get like very frustrated, I call it frustrated instead of angry, but it's really angry, but I just realized that. But I call it frustrated, but I get really frustrated. I want to defend myself, and I will be quick to just respond back in defense. And then in that, it becomes a like accusation for the other party, instead of it actually being where I may get upset, but listen to what the other person's saying and then seek the Lord and then speak back. And so, yeah. So that was my little revelation. That was good. Well, for me it was. And I could totally be wrong. This is just what I feel like the Lord's speaking to me. And I think he speaks to all of us differently in different seasons and different places that we're at. And everybody's in different places. Nobody's in the same place. We all are unique and individually designed. And so this is just how the Lord speaks through me. And I would love to find out eventually how the Lord speaks about to everybody, because I find it so interesting. Um, so yeah, alrighty. Well, I think that's enough for today. I'm gonna work on trying to be on here every Tuesday. I will try to do them live. Like I said, next one should be live. Um, I didn't erase and re-record this one. I did like maybe 4 or 5 takes, and that's been it. So this is a little rough, so I'm sorry about that. Um, the next one, if it is live, it'll be probably rougher. Um, but that's okay, because I think real relationship happens when you're really truly authentically yourself. And it can't happen until you're really truly authentically yourself. And I struggle with being a perfectionist and wanting to look perfect and having it all together, and I just don't. And so I am trying to be really truly authentically me, and this is me, messy and all. So I love you guys. um, I pray this week is a great week for everyone, and that as they go on this week, that they can just get to hear God in a new way and get to see Him in a new way. And I pray for Him to just love on each and every one of us in the way that we're able to receive. So, love you guys. Bye.